Coach, good morning. You've now had a chance to watch the tape of yesterday's debacle. What did you see after getting a chance to break it down that showed what went wrong yesterday?
Yeah, so every day after the games, guys, what we do is we take a look at the game, win or lose, and we really focus on the things that we did well and the things that we need to improve on. And that's what we're doing this morning. We'll have a meeting with the team at 10 o'clock and go through the goals that we set forth. But in terms of yesterday, as I said, post-game was the penalties put us behind. We had some negative plays on first down, which also put us behind the sticks, which led into our third down percentage that we couldn't create favorable third downs for us. So we got to do a better job with that. And a lot of that's controllable, right? We can control penalties. We have to do a good job with that coming up. And then same thing on defense. I thought we did a really good job of stopping the run. The run averages are really good, but we have to do a better job getting off the field on third down. So, again, it comes down to situational football, being disciplined, and with the penalties.
I guess one of my biggest concerns watching the game is just trying to get more vertical down the field and more touches for DJ Moore, because I know he's such a big playmaker. What did you see on tape from Fields that he can improve on?
Yeah, it's just really about, taking what the defense gives you. When you have those shots down the field and they're there, we certainly have to take those. And, really just being disciplined. When the protection's good, let's stay in there. And then when it breaks down, you saw yesterday that he took off a couple of times. He did a really nice job creating some first downs for us, and it's some explosive plays.
Coach, in terms of the game plan going in, Justin said after the game, yeah, these short passes, that was the game plan. But watching the game, and again, I haven't seen the coach's film. You get to watch all of that immediately. It just didn't look like the Bears were trying to threaten Green Bay. It was, we'll try and make a play here, run a screen there, run a little hitch here. Why did the game plan look like it was not going to try and really pressure Green Bay down the field?
Yeah, I would just say that, when we're putting together a game plan, we always have our shots down the field. We certainly need to take more of those. And, and again, if those are there, we need to take them. And when it isn't, we have to take what the defense gives you and check it down. But we certainly need to threaten the defense down the field. We're always working to do that, and we'll get that done.
Matt Eberflus with Cap and J. Hood on the home of the Bears, ESPN 1000. You mentioned the press conference yesterday, speaking of the offense, that the percentages on that half-yard play on third and fourth down with Cole Kmet on third down in particular, that, hey, from a number standpoint, the percentages that you can be able to get the first down. How much of those decisions analytics and how much of those decisions a gut feel for you as a head coach?
Yeah, I think they're both. They're both. I really believe that, those percentages are very high, and we have to do a good job with those, of getting that push to get those first downs. And, again, that was early in the game, so right there we were trying to keep that first drive alive, and the situation presented itself, and it was the green light, and we had visited about that prior to, and we got in that situation, and we went for it.
Coach, in terms of the HITS principle, that's something you subscribe to. You've had great success with the HITS principle in your career. But it looked from my seat, again, on my couch, I'm not there with you, Nate Davis and other guys who missed almost all of camp, wasn't around in the spring. Some of these guys did not look physically ready to play an NFL football game. How can you count on your guys if they're not all in terms of where they're at physically playing an NFL football game?
Yeah, I would say that some of that is injury, right? So the guys were out of training camp because of injury, and then they're getting back now. So a lot of those things are out of our control, with the guys who are injured. So if that happens, then we just got to do the best we can to get them back in there, and get them game ready, and, we'll play better in the future.
If you had more healthy players for training camp, what would be the likelihood that you would have played your starters more in preseason? Because that came up yesterday in the press conference.
Yeah, there's no doubt. If the guy's healthy, we were going to play him in the preseason, and certainly that was a factor for sure.
Coach, in terms of DJ Moore specifically, I think he's the best player on your roster. I think he's one of the best receivers that's ever rolled through this town. If you had told me he's going to get 2 targets in the first half and never get targeted again, I would never have believed it. Why, from watching the tape, what did you see that, well, there was nothing to throw to him? What was the rationale there?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it was what Green Bay did. They took him away with rolling up coverage to him some, and and doing some different things defensively. But again, we have our opportunities. We just need to seize those opportunities, and we're going to obviously target him and put him in position because you're exactly right. He is one of our best players on the roster for sure.
Would you say this is more, I got to talk to Luke about our game plan, or more Justin has to be better?
No, I think it's always both of those. It's really always everything. It's the whole offense. It's really about us just functioning, like staying ahead of the sticks, taking shots down the field, being efficient in the passing game, and that's really what it is. It's really comes down to all 11 guys, and to execute a play right in the NFL, all 11 guys got to be on the same page. All have to execute at the same time. So, and we did some of that yesterday. We had some good plays yesterday. And we'll focus on those, and we'll obviously focus on the corrections we need to make.
Coach, how much did the amount of Bears penalties surprise you? You have a hits principle, more really disciplined last year. What about the game yesterday as far as the penalties and the amount of penalties that you incurred?
Yeah, that's it's not right, and it is disciplined, and it's going to get addressed, and it'll be addressed here at 10 o'clock this morning, and we have to get it corrected.
Coach, another thing that I would think you're going to address, I'm not sure if you're aware of these comments, but Greg Olson, who I think does a hell of a job as an analyst, he was very critical on the broadcast that with 3 minutes to go, the Bears are standing around. He's clocking, well, we got a run play for a first down. Now they blew 24 seconds and didn't get a play moving. He was exceptionally critical, and I thought rightly so. Will you address that with your team?
Yeah, I would just say that, when we look at the tape here, we got to make sure that, in that moment, when we're in those situations that we're hurry up, we're on the ball, we're doing a good job of getting, on the ball as fast as possible. And sometimes, if they're off there, you can definitely get pop a big run. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you have to get up on the ball, and you got to be in a 2-minute mode during that time.
Nate Davis was out because of personal reasons. How do you think he fared yesterday?
I think he did okay. Again, I'll talk to Simo here just in a little bit as we go over the grades with the offensive and defensive staff here in about 25 minutes, and I'll find out more then.
Your thoughts on Jordan Love? Did he do anything that surprised you? I know they had the long pass to Aaron Jones, a 51-yarder throwback. They had the one where he fumbled the ball, picked it up, nobody's around a kid 40 yards down the field. What was your thought on Love?
Yeah, obviously when you're playing good defense, you eliminate the explosive plays, and you just talked about a couple of those, and we have to do a better job with that, because, we have, this principle of keeping the cup, and that's in the run defense and the pass defense, and we got to do a better job there, eliminating those, because when the offense has no explosives, it's really hard to score, and when they did have those, that's when they scored those points.
Coach, what's your message to the fans? We've talked to a lot of fans this morning, and they really wanted the Bears to win. What's your message to the Bears fan about yesterday and moving forward throughout the season?
Yeah, I would just tell them this, is that we're going to work our tail off to make these corrections, and, guys are working really hard, and we're going to bring these guys together, and we're going to play a brand and a style that everybody's going to be proud of. And, we're going to, every game, doesn't matter win, lose, or draw, we're going to work to get better and improve. And go forward. Now we got our eyes forward. Once we leave, the players leave today, we got our eyes forward for a 24-hour rule on to Tampa Bay.
Coach, as we let you go, Tampa Bay comes in 1-0. They're looking, going, we're going to be at home. We can get to 2-0. What type of urgency do you talk to your team about? I know it's a week-to-week league, but this is a massive one with KC in week 3.
Yeah, I would just say it is a week-to-week league, and we have all of our focus and attention has to be on preparing for Tampa Bay, and that's where it has to be.
Coach, thanks for the time. We will talk to you next Monday.
Okay, thank you.